The episode's beginning directly takes us to the start of Season 1, which is the day of the 12th of November, and the year is 1983, the day on which Will had already spent a total of 6 days in the world of the Upside Down, which again confirms how Will was surviving in the Upside Down world for so many days, where he is inside Castle Byers singing "Should I Stay or Should I Go" by The Clash. To steady himself as a Demogorgon approaches, he is scared, and he fires his gun and runs through the Upside Down. Then he climbs a tree to escape, but the monster found him and climbs the tree as well. Will tries to jump to the next tree but then falls unconscious, and the Demogorgon found him there. His survival doesn't last long as the Demogorgon, after he faints, brings him straight to Hawkins' upside-down library right in front of Vecna, who after catching him there, had included him in some plan of his, as if he had already made all these plans beforehand and was eagerly waiting for this moment, telling Will their plan can finally begin and that they will do such beautiful things together. But for now, without telling us, he only explains the situation of how he took control of Will so that the two of them could do something big together. And after the intro, we see the time situation of Hawkins City, where now a complete 1 year has passed, which brings the time circle to the date of 3rd November, and the year is 1987. Mike is banging on the bathroom door because he thinks Nancy is inside, but Mrs. Byers comes out instead. Downstairs, Holly is shouting toward the basement, telling them to come have breakfast, and in the basement, Will and Jonathan are sleeping. They wake up and start getting mad at each other, saying, "Why didn't you set the alarm?" Which brings us directly to the Wheeler family's house, where the Byers family also lives with them, and Will's father is a bit frustrated with all of them. Which again, I will say, they are simply learning to adjust to the situation, which his wife also tells him. But the interesting thing here is that everyone is busy in their own work. So Holly, who is now a bit grown up, gets very happy because of someone's presence whose identity is not shown for now, after which we see the rest of the family fulfilling their responsibilities, meaning the kids are going to school and Nancy and her boyfriend are going to their jobs. And besides that, Steve and Robin are now handling a radio station that explains the whole situation of Hawkins for us, and Steve is adding sound effects to Robin's signal to make the radio broadcast more entertaining. The audience about how the people of Hawkins have now learned to live here with extremely tight security, and to leave the town they need special permission, and yes, the huge cracks that destroyed the town have been covered with giant metal plates, which Robin calls a giant band-aid, on which the kids slide for now, but whenever the military people see them, they chase them away from there. And the kids of Hawkins know well how to deal with them. And inside the Mac Z zone known as Big Mac is the open portal to the Upside Down, and no one is allowed to enter or leave Hawkins. But anyway, after saying this much, Robin also gives the update that maybe this situation will be solved soon after, which she announces her date and plays a song for it. Steve is not that much happy after hearing it. While Robin is airing her radio show, some technical problems suddenly appear. Because of this, Robin's radio show suddenly goes off air. And to fix it, Steve needs Dustin. And when Steve contacts Dustin through the walkie, we see that Dustin's behavior has changed a lot. Ever since Eddie's death, he's been extremely disturbed, and because of that, he rudely refuses to help Steve Harrington. At school, Dustin comes wearing the Hellfire Club t-shirt to pay tribute to Eddie. But the other kids, especially Jason Carver's friends, don't like this at all. So Dustin gets bullied badly, and they even try to beat him up. But Lucas, Mike, and Will arrive and save Dustin. Mike tries explaining to Dustin that he shouldn't wear the Hellfire shirt like this. He shouldn't bring attention to himself. Hopper told everyone to stay low, but Dustin fights with everyone and leaves angrily. He behaves rudely with all of them. At school, we also see a missing poster, not of anyone else, but 11, meaning Jane Hopper. And right after this, we see 11 running from some people. The military is behind her. But then it's revealed that it actually wasn't 11. It was someone else. And 11 has once again fooled the military. Again, because the military is constantly trying to hunt 11 so they can use her. Meanwhile, we see 11 who is actually training intensely with Hopper and Joyce so she can control her powers better and defeat Vecna. And here we see something amazing. Unlike previous seasons when 11 uses her powers now, her nose doesn't bleed. This means she now has much better control over her powers. Next, we see Murray, who comes into Hawkins with a fake identity carrying cargoes, and we find out he's secretly helping all their heroes by bringing supplies from outside. Then, we go back to the radio station, where we see not just Steve and Robin working, but it's actually a collective project of Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, and Robin. They're trying to fix the radio signals without Dustin, and from a manual, they learn they need to climb the big radio tower to fix it. So Steve decides to go up and fix the radio signals, but Jonathan also says he'll do it to impress Nancy. So both race each other to show off, and both reach the top and fix the signals. Meanwhile, Murray meets Nancy and Robin down below, and gives them supplies, ammunition, and also passes information that the army ordered tons of supplies to refill their stock, which means the gates are going to open today. Hearing this, everyone becomes alert. On the other side, Dustin steals a snake from the school science lab and puts it inside his bully's locker, and when the bully opens it, he gets scared to death. Because of this, the bullies become extremely angry with Dustin. Anyway, later, Dustin and the four boys are sitting in the school cafeteria. Robin fixes the signal and broadcasts a message. In code, she informs the boys along with Hopper, Jane, 11, that in 2 hours the army convoy is going to move, and tonight the gates will open. After that, all of them start planning. Basically, the army convoy is going inside the Upside Down, and Hopper will secretly sneak inside with them. Since they know the exact route of the convoy, Steve, Dustin, and Harrington will trace the same route with their radio van, so they can connect the radio signals from the Upside Down and keep Hopper connected to the overworld. 11 tells Hopper she trained very hard today, and she can easily go down with him and kill Vecna today. But Hopper refuses and scolds her. He says he will decide when 11 will go down and fight Vecna, because the military has also entered the Upside Down now. They've set up a base there, and they're constantly searching for 11. And if 11 goes down right now, even by mistake, the chances are very high that the military will arrest her and catch her. And then they won't be able to kill Vecna either. Everyone calls this whole plan the crawl, because it means they have to crawl into the Upside Down and find Vecna, because it's not even clear if Vecna is alive or not. Will hasn't had a vision from Vecna in a long time. Steve believes Vecna might already be dead, because Nancy and Steve burned him at the end of Season 4. Maybe he died, and they're doing this crawl for nothing. During these conversations, Will suddenly starts feeling extremely weird. The sky starts spinning for him. When his friends ask him what happened, Will can't explain what he just felt. But clearly this is an Easter egg hinting that Vecna is returning. After this, we go back to school where Mike's sister Holly again sees that imaginary person no one else can see. While Holly is talking to that imaginary person, her teacher sees her and decides she will complain to Holly's parents because something is mentally very wrong with Holly. On the other side, we go back to the Upside Down where the military base is set. A soldier tells Dr. K that the girl, 11, still hasn't been caught. Dr. K says they need to find the girl as soon as possible. And we see that inside the Upside Down military base, experiments are going on over Upside Down creatures like Demogorgons. We see Dr. K opening up a Demogorgon's head. After this, we go to the hospital where Max is still in a coma. Every night someone stays with Max and plays her favorite tape so Vecna doesn't attack her again. In the hospital, Will finds out Robin is actually in a relationship with Vicky, a nurse. They go on dates regularly. Will sees both of them getting intimate, and for some unknown reason, he panics and runs away. Ahead, we see the Hawkins graveyard where someone wrote "Burn in Hell" on Eddie's headstone. When Dustin tries to clean it, he realizes it's written with blood, not paint. Below, he sees the same snake he put inside his bully's locker. The bullies become extremely angry and start beating Dustin. Dustin tries to fight back, but in this 1vs4 situation, he gets beaten badly and is almost knocked out. Meanwhile, his friends are calling him on the walkie but can't reach him. After this, they decide they'll carry out the crawl tonight without Dustin. Later, Hopper, Joyce, and 11 arrive at the radio station. After a long time, 11 and Mike meet, and they get emotional. They sit on the roof and discuss that after all this is over and Vecna is dead, they will start fresh somewhere new. Then everyone goes inside the radio station and we find out it's actually their main operations base. Since Dustin isn't there, Jonathan fills in for him. While Steve is driving, Jonathan connects the radio frequencies to Hopper inside the Upside Down, so Hopper stays connected at all times. We then see Mike and Lucas watching the army, and we see that every time the army wants to enter the Upside Down, they burn open the gate in front of the Hawkins library, and then they send trucks and people inside. Using Lucas and Mike's calls, Hopper jumps into one of these trucks and enters the Upside Down. Everything is going fine, until suddenly the trucks inside the Upside Down crash. For a moment, radio signals disconnect, but Jonathan reconnects them. Then suddenly we hear a Demogorgon sound, and the monsters have returned. A Demogorgon attacks the army convoy. The same Demogorgon kills and eats the driver of Hopper's truck. Meanwhile, through Will's hive mind connection, Will sees everything the Demogorgon is doing. Hopper barely escapes. Through Will's hive mind vision, we see the same Demogorgon heading toward Nancy's house. And if you remember, last season Vecna showed Nancy a nightmare where her entire family died, killed by Demogorgons. Seeing this, everyone at the radio station runs toward Nancy's house. At Nancy's house, everything is normal. But then we see Holly's room where the lights suddenly start flickering, just like Season 1 when the Demogorgon entered Will's house. And what we feared actually happens at the end of the episode. A Demogorgon bursts through the ceiling of Holly's room, and that's a wrap on the first episode of Season 5. From Will's terrifying ordeal inside the Upside Down to the tight military control over Hawkins, we've seen just how much the town has changed over the years. The kids are navigating school and bullies, the adults are balancing protection and frustration, and Eleven is training harder than ever while Hopper and the army prepare for their daring mission. We've got Demogorgons lurking, Vecna plotting, and the entire Upside Down threatening to spill over into Hawkins once again. If you thought the first episode was intense, just wait until the next one. Things are about to get even darker, even more dangerous. So make sure to stay tuned, because Hawkins' fight against the Upside Down is far from over. And until next time, stay strange.